Hello everybody. Hi, it's Debbie here, and welcome back to my Crafty Den. I am doing a DIY today. So I bought this little tray from Dollarama for $4. And it's nice. It's really cute for $4. But I want to make this tray match the little farmhouse decor flower vase that I did, and I have some of this DIY chalk paint left, so I'm not going to show you how to mix it today. That'll be a different day. And you can buy pre-made chalk paint. You can buy little containers of pre-made chalk paint. And the really nice thing about chalk paint is that you can paint over a piece of wood, whether it's a tray like this or a piece of furniture, or even just a little table. Or I've done almost anything that you can think of. I've used chalk paint on wood. I've used it on I'm gonna stir this up while I'm talking. I've used it on wood, I've used it on glass, I've used it on plastic. I painted over oil paint surfaces with it because it works like a heavy-duty primer. You can paint it on almost anything and know that you have an awesomely secured bond with the item that you're painting and your paint. So it didn't take much to stir that up. So I am going to paint this tray without any prep because I don't need any prep. I wonder if this little paintbrush here will fit in there without wrecking it. I was going to just paint it with this little paintbrush, but I think I'm just going to use this one. You can use almost any paintbrush that you want to. A little foam brush would work. I seldom use foam brushes. I'm not a fan of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on my side. I'm going to stand up here so I can see what I'm doing. But I'm going to start on my side, and I am going to give this just a nice thin coat. The other thing that I like about chalk paint is the coverage is absolutely amazing. So this little tray will probably only take 2 coats. I have a coffee table in my living room. It's an old farm style coffee table that I bought, and it was stained and varnished. And I decided that I wanted it to be a little bit different. I wanted the legs to be white, and I wanted the top of it to be stained. So I did that. I just took I restained it. I sanded it down a little bit, and I restained the top because it was a gorgeous, gorgeous old coffee table, homemade one that I found at a yard sale. So I took the top of that, and I might need a little bit more. So I took the top of that and I sanded it down and I refinished it because it had years and years of wear on it. And it turned out so nice, but I wasn't into refinishing the legs on a piece of furniture. And my thing is chalk paint. So I took that coffee table and I painted those legs white, and then I gave it a good little finish. And I'm going to show you on this how I finish a piece, a decor piece, no matter what it is. So I'll be back. I'm just going to finish painting this all up, the first coat, and I'll be back. So it's been maybe 20 minutes, maybe not quite. There's a few spots on this that are a little bit damp still. But chalk paint dries fairly fast. So I'm going to show you. You can see the brush marks. You can see it's a fairly thin coat. And it will scratch off. I'm just going to show you. It'll come right off until it cures. And it takes about 24 to 48 hours for that to happen because it's dry to touch. But it's like paint doesn't dry that fast. So I'm going to give this one more coat. Only this time I'm going to brush it on, and I'm just going to go like this, and it's going to be thicker. And I'm just going to go back and forth, and I'm going to keep adding a little paint to my brush. And I'm going to be covering part of the bottom of this with something else. But I want to show you how easily you can get a nice, good farmhouse feel to your furniture by sticking to really light neutral colors and repainting stuff with chalk paint. I took it was for someone else, but I took a coffee table, you know, the big square ones that have the mechanics in them so that the top of the table will raise up and turn into a table like to eat in the living room or to do something. So you have a work surface in front of you, just like you're sitting at a table. I took a big one of those, but it was a big square one that came up on an angle so that it fit into the center of a sectional sofa, like in the angle. And it was a dark cherry wood finish, had a lot of family wear and tear on it. There were nail polish marks, there were some scratches, it had been very well family used. And I painted it with chalk paint. Now I did about 4 coats, letting it dry a full day between each coat. And then but I did it in a dark, it was like in a deep gray color. Almost like a gunmetal gray. And so I did about 4 coats on it. There was no distressing at all. It wasn't supposed to have a country feel. I was going more for a modern feel with that. And when I was done, I went over it. Now with chalk paint, your nicest finish is wax. You can buy Minwax finishing wax, which is very much like the old style paste wax that you used on your hardwood floors. If you can find a good paste wax, that'll do. It doesn't have to be the Minwax, but the Minwax isn't that expensive, and it goes a long, long way. So I gave it a couple of coats of the Minwax wax and buffed it, and I buffed it and buffed it until it has the softest shine to it, and it looked wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I've done complete dresser sets with chalk paint. I was on for a while, I was on a thing where I was doing a lot of stuff with chalk paint. Okay, so this has been drying for a couple of hours. And it seems quite good. It's a good time to start distressing it and finishing it up. I'm just going to grab an ordinary emery board. And then I'm going to go around like this. See? Because this is typically where it would get wear and tear, is on the ends where the handles are. So you're holding it like this. So this is, see, you're holding it like this, and that's where you'd get your wear and your tear, because I want it to look like it's worn naturally. So a little bit there. I'm just going to put little wee bits down, and it comes off quite easy right now because it hasn't cured. So you almost have to be careful that you're not taking too much. Now I'm not going to do anything with the bottom of this, and there's a reason for that. So that's all. I'm not going to distress this very much. I might do a little corner here and one over here, maybe a little bit right around this corner. And that's all I'm going to do. And then instead of I was thinking about decoupaging something in the bottom here, but I thought, why not do it in such a way that I can change it up? This is going to be a little tray just to hold my cup of tea and my husband's cup of tea and a couple of biscuits in the evening, because that's what we'll do. We'll normally have a little snack. So I have this Minwax Paste Finishing Wax, and I'm hoping it's dry enough to take this. I've still got my rag in here, so all I'm going to do is get a little bit of this wax. There's not much left. See, I've used a lot of it. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right down. Now this is the natural, so it doesn't change the color very much at all. So all I'm doing is putting this on here, just rubbing it on, just like you would put it on a floor when you're waxing a floor. I don't think people do that very much anymore. Take a little bit of that off. So I'm going to put it all around the ends and around the handle to protect the handle. And the chalk paint takes it nicely. I hope you're in frame. I'm sitting back down again, so I can't really check. There. I think you are. I think most of the table's in frame. But that's all I'm doing, is I'm just putting a coat of paste wax on here. Because I don't want any more of this paint to chip off. The next time, because I'm almost out of this white, so the next time I go to do a little project, I'll have to mix some chalk paint, make some, and I'll show you how I go about doing that. So I've got the wax on both ends, all around the handle on the inside, in here, in here. I need a little more. And I'm going to cover the bottom, and this will protect it. There. Then I'm going to take a dry cloth. Okay, sorry about that. I just got called away for a minute. So this is dried while I was gone. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is just give this a good polishing. And this gives it a little bit of a shine. You shine it up, and but it gives you that soft shine, you know, that paste wax gives you. It's nice. And I'll do the arms as well. For the arms, the handles. There. There's a little buildup of wax down in that corner that I don't want. There. And so to decorate this, I was going to decoupage the bottom, like I said, but I've decided not to. I've decided I wanted to be able to change it out. So what I've done is I cut a piece of scrapbook paper to go in the bottom, like this. And I cut a piece of, this is from packaging, and it's really, really heavy. It's actually the piece that was on my my scoreboard. Yeah, I was trying to remember what it was on. It was on my scoreboard. So I'm just going to put it in here and push it down, and then we can set drinks on top of this paper, and they're not going to get, it's not going to leave a bunch of coffee rings on here. So that's my little DIY. I really like this. I might have to trim just a hair more off of this to get it to lay flat. I'm just going to do that with my scissors. It's just sticking in a couple of spots. So sorry about that. You can hear my vacuum cleaner going out there. And yes, my husband vacuums. He does everything that I do around the house. We both work and we both do all the chores. So, yeah. So there we go. That's nice. I like the way it turned out. I'm going to shut this off for a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's done. That's my little DIY project. I love it. This is my style. So it just looks like it's just naturally been chipped. I just went at it very randomly. The corners, like it's where anywhere it would have banged something and gotten chipped up, or where a cup would have hit the side of it and chipped it. That's what I did to make it look like it was naturally aged. And here, let me turn this. So that's what that scrapbook paper looks like in the bottom of it. I think it looks rather nice, and I think it's going to look cute on the corner of my coffee table like that. So, or like that, because you couldn't see it for the glare. So anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, share, and if you're not already a subscriber, I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube family. So thank you everybody for joining me. Bye bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.